Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Schmidig and I am Miss Delta Valley 2018. I decided to make a vlog. I was trying to think of the word there. A vlog instead of a blog. So I'm just going to share fun facts about me and who I am. I won my first title back in 2016 and it took me 3 years to get there. I had competed in opens and the Miss San Joaquin County local pageants for 2 years before, and then my third year in 2016, I was so determined, and I was like, yes, this is going to be my year. Every year in Galt, we have a strawberry festival, which isn't as big as Garden Grove or a lot of other places I know in California that have strawberry festivals, but it's pretty big for a small country town, and it's kind of a fun 2 day event. It's a 3 day event. It is 3 days. Anyways, so I gave them $30. I had a red dress and I signed up for optionals like prettiest smile, prettiest hair, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing or what I'm signing up for, but here's $30 and let's just see what happens. Um, um, this girl shows up in a gorgeous red and gold beaded mermaid fit and flare. It was beautiful. It really was. And only later to find out that she had actually won the pageant a few years before. I just wanted to win again. And I was like, So, um, she appears as me and the one other girl are walking up the stairs. And I looked at my mom and I said, well, crap. Well, dang it. This sucks. I felt like I kind of had a shot at possibly at least winning a little something in my division. And then there's this girl who comes up like perfect and she knows how to pose and she's doing all this stuff. And you're like, oh, great, fantastic, whatever. First, second, and third place, and I had gotten third next to a little boy and a little girl. And I was like, I don't really care. I had no idea what I was doing. And wait, and I looked at my mom and I said, did I really just beat the chick who actually knows what she's doing here? Am I that newbie? That newbie that appears and you're like, oh yeah, okay, she's no threat. Boom! I gotcha. So, anyways, that happened. And I was like, well, that's cool. And so I kind of got bit by the pageant bug and I decided I kind of want to keep doing this, except I want a prettier dress and I want to know what I'm doing, and I want to actually go for something bigger. Because, yes, winning this giant, what I call Pope's hat, because in those weird pageants on toddlers and tiaras, when they have these crowns like so big that the child can't even hold on to them, they're just like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, say cheese. I had one of those, and it was cool, and I had like the sash that says Strawberry Festival Queen or whatever on it, and I was like, oh, it's so official, but you don't really get to do anything with it. You just kind of win it, and then what? So, anyways, from there, I was like, I really want to do something. I want to keep pursuing this, but I also want to do more with the power that comes with a crown and a sash, or the fact that people look at you like, oh, what are you? Why are you so special? So, 2014 was the first year I competed. Obviously, didn't win. That's fine. I learned a lot. Did some opens, met some cool people. Um, a lot of the girls are still my friends now, and in fact, one of them is uh, my best friend that I go to for everything. Um, she's amazing, and it's true what they say is that this organization in general really is a sisterhood. I know it's so overheard, and everyone's like, "Oh, add a fifth point to the crown, and it'd be sisterhood." Like, yeah, totally true. Like, I completely agree. But anyways, so these girls really are amazing. In high school, I was on the robotics team. I know it's kind of nerdy, but it's actually super cool. Next is another fun fact, whatever number this is. In high school, I was on the robotics team. I know it's kind of nerdy, but it's actually super cool. So at my high school, my science teacher had said, "Oh, beginning of the year." He said, "So, we're gonna have a science project," and I was like, "Awesome! I'm super good at science. I love science projects. We did a lot of them in junior high. I'm really good at this." Um, and he said, "You're gonna have to do a science project, or you can join my robotics team, and you won't have to do a science project." And I thought, well, this is what would Kayla do in a moment like this? Join the robotics team and hang out with your friends. But it's true. I joined the robotics team at my school because a lot of my friends were in it, and I was kind of lazy in high school, like a lot of us were. I didn't want to have to do a science project again. I had my fair share. Whatevs. I'm done. So I joined. I was part of the marketing team and fundraising team, as we called it. We did a lot of crab feeds. We did a lot of random stuff just to help raise funds. And my first year that I joined was my junior year of high school, uh, back in 2010. Shout out to all of us older. Yeah. I'm so weird. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna keep apologizing, but it's gonna get annoying. So just brush it off and just sit there and watch this like she's super weird. I know, and I've embraced it. And I'm totally cool with it. Um, which should also let you know. No, I got nothing. I got nothing. He introduced himself and he said, I used to be in the Air Force in Israel, and I really like what you have to say. And in fact, we have a robotics team in Israel as well. And how would you feel about coming to Israel for our national competition? And my teacher was like, "What, for real? Heck yeah, sign us up. We'll find the funds. We'll get there." And he was like, the Air Force guy was like, "You will be our only team from the United States, but we've got teams coming from all over the country, all over Israel and other nearby countries. Um, Come compete. Come set a name for yourself. Set a name for yourself." And my teacher was like, "Count us in. We're there. As long as we can raise the funds and we have enough people who want to go, for sure, count us in. We'll get there." So, of course, when you're a junior in high school and you're like, "Who wants to go to Israel?" Or whoever thought they could, what even is in Israel? Yes, biblical background. I know, it's super cool. Um, Anyways, so being on the fundraising team, we were like, "Heck yeah, I want to go to Israel. If we can get it for free, why not?" Side note, I love to travel. Well, if money was no issue, I would travel the world and never settle down anywhere in particular. I want to see everything that the world has to offer. A lot of the girls here, or at least I know Miss Tustin, shout out. I know she is an avid Harry Potter fan, and girl, I hear you. Me too. I think anyone else who's a Harry Potter fan, let's do something. Let's totally get in touch. We should go to Harry Potter World in Hollywood. Um, I have a brother, just one brother. Also, really hard to get a picture with him, by the way. He hates pictures. The only way I can ever get a picture with him is if it's like this. So, Harry Potter people, yeah, let's get together because the Harry Potter world in Universal Studios Orlando is awesome. It's super cool. It's ginormous. I have not yet been to the one here in Hollywood, but I hear it's pretty cool. And I know it's not as big as Orlando, but let's do it. Let's have some butterbeer. Let's get our wands out. Let's get our hoods and everything out. Let's do it. Meet me. I promise I'm fun. I'm also super quirky. And yes, I'll be the pageant girl who has snacks in her crown box. So that way, anywhere we go for Miss California, I got you hooked up. You want some almonds? You got some ibuprofen? You want granola bars or whatever else you guys will actually eat? I got you covered. I'll be your snack girl. Um, this is Mrs. Steiner. She was my second grade teacher when I was growing up, and I had just gone to a new school, transferring, and there was something just about her between the way she taught, but the way she cared for her children, as well as the way she decorated her classroom, but always kind of felt like a second mom. I can just remember thinking to myself, this is what I want to be when I grow up. You know, a lot of people don't really know when they're young, or especially when they're 18, getting ready to go to college, and they're like, I don't know what to do with my life. How am I supposed to know? I'm only 18. But I knew at a young age that I wanted to be my Mrs. Steiner, or I wanted to be like my eighth grade teacher, Mr. Collier. There was something about them and the way that they were able to relate to kids, but also there was a line between teacher and friend, and they never blurred the two together. It was always very separate, but they had such an impact on me, especially. And I thought, that's what I want to do with my life. That's that's what I want to do, and I want to help kids in any way possible. So, so when it comes to kids, especially now when you have a shiny, sparkly crown on the top of your head and a sash that says whatever your title is, um, it has such a power to young kids, especially that many of you know when you go to schools and you read or you just talk to them in general, or when you go to IHOP for International Pancake Day and you see the effect that you have on young kids, especially. It's kind of cool. And whatever appearance we end up doing, I guarantee you will always find me wherever the kids are at. Not because of the crown or because they're so hypnotized by, like, ooh, something sparkly on your head. No, it's the fact that oddly enough, I just kind of relate more to kids than I do to adults or to people my own age. I think that people are very harsh to judge, and I think that kids are just so open minded and open in general that they're willing to accept almost anyone at a first impression, a first basis. Um, okay, so next fun fact after all this ranting is that yes, 2 years ago for my onstage question, I did resort back to the movie of Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock, and I did actually say world peace as my answer for my onstage question. There is more to it, actually. It was the year that the previous Miss Californias wrote our onstage question for us, and it was kind of scary. And you're like, I don't know what to expect. They could honestly say just about anything, but mine was along the lines of, if you could talk to the president tomorrow about California, what are three things you'd want to talk to him about? And of course, President Obama at the time, you're like, okay, I could really talk to him about anything. But my brain froze. And I just was so like, oh my gosh, you're not asking me about my stance on marijuana, or, um, how do you go against peer pressure, or how do you deal peer pressure when it goes against your values? It's not fluff. It's so much more difficult than that. And I was like, oh, okay. And for whatever reason, my quirky, weird self, if you haven't noticed already, said, is this the part where I say world peace and everyone in the audience kind of laughs? And you heard some chuckles here and there, and people did giggle. And right away, I pulled three answers out of thin air. I don't know where they came from or how I came up with them, but I had people cheering and laughing in the audience and actually like rooting for me. And I was like, oh my lord! I walked off stage, and thank you, Catherine. Holla. Uh, Catherine Fall, my sister at the time, who, as I walked off stage and said, "What the heck did I just say?" I don't even remember. I completely blacked out. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. And she comes up and hugs me and says, no, 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 it was great. You were totally true to yourself. You added the funny, the humor in there, but you also had people in the audience cheering and clapping for you and wanting to completely root and support you. So you were completely true to yourself, and that's what matters most. And I was like, yeah, okay, I guess. Bake. If I could do something different with my life other than being a teacher, I would totally own my own bakery and have a blast with it. I love to bake. I don't always eat my creations. I wish I did. I like to give them away, but I absolutely love to bake in any spare time I can get. that I absolutely love to dress up and get crazy. Um, I have a tendency ever since I was young. I have always had a tendency to dress up in weird things and no explanation as to why. My family will never understand. They've just come to know that, yep, that's Kayla being Kayla. Sure, okay. And they don't question it anymore, which is kind of hilarious because they just kind of know better. So yes, I am completely starstruck when I see someone famous. I was freaking out that Donna and Lee were both there, and the fact that they were in the same room together because they were in a movie that I had seen when I was in high school called The Ultimate Gift. And to be fair and honest, that was the first place I've ever heard of either one of them, which I know is super bad and super like what to a lot of you guys, but I had no idea um, that Lee was previously Catwoman and Miss America, and that Donna was a previous Miss California. I had no idea. All I knew is that they were from this movie that I absolutely loved called The Ultimate Gift, and it resonates with me for a couple different reasons. But, anyways, um, so then I got a picture eventually on the night of my swimsuit and evening gown portion of the competition. They were both backstage, and I was just like, oh my god, Catherine, help me. You have to help me. Ask them for a picture. Oh my god, I really know. Oh my god. So eventually, I was able to get a picture with Lee and Donna together, and I just was like, "Oh my god, I I just really wanted to ask you guys for a picture. I know the both of you together from The Ultimate Gift, and I love that movie so much." And they were like, "Oh, you've seen the movie?" And I was like, "I own the movie. I could probably perform a whole oh my god, I could perform it for you guys myself. And oh my gosh, can I just get a picture of the two of you?" I was so starstruck. I couldn't form the words, and it's so embarrassing, but it's still so kind of cute to look back on and be like, yeah, that was me. I was freaking out. And now I have this picture with me and Donna Cherry and Lee Merriweather, and it hangs up here in my room. And this Fresno County 2016 Kelsey Schulteis, hey girl, hey, was she won that year to have a luncheon with Kara Kazantsev, um and Leigh Merriweather and a few other people, and she was able to get me Lee's autograph on a CMN bracelet, and I just was like, oh my god, I owe you so much. I can't believe this. So it's still one of the coolest moments of my entire life, as well as being able to get a picture with Kira Kazantsev, who I then later saw at this last year's Miss Contra Costa Greater East Bay pageant, and I was like, oh my god, it's Kira. Oh my god. Freaking out. I love her. And I was able to show her this picture that I had of her and I from the 2016 pageant, and I was like, "Hi, so I was backstage at the Miss California pageant competing, and you were here, and look, this is a picture of you and I. I couldn't form the words to ask you for a request or for a picture. Can we take another one?" And she was like, "Of course, yeah." She's super so chill, and I was like, "Oh my god." Kira Kazanza is touching me right now. Oh my god. Then on top of that, I found out that Crystal Lee was one of the judges that night, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Crystal Lee. She's amazing. She's so smart and she's so accomplished." And it's like, what the heck am I doing with my life? Nothing compared to Crystal Lee. Holy cows. We're all smart and so intimidating. And so I saved up and I took my mom to New York for New Year's Eve, which was both on our bucket list. And oh my gosh, it was so cold. You guys, when it hits midnight there in Times Square, it was 7 degrees. It was a record breaking low that year, and it was so cold. Talk about having 4 layers of pants on and long sleeves and jackets and thermals and down jackets and earmuffs and masks and head like every part of your body was covered in so many layers, and I still could not feel my toes or my fingers, and I had hand warmers in my hands, gloves, as well as in my shoes, and my eyeballs were nearly frozen shut by about 11:30. That last hour between 11 and midnight was probably the longest hour of my entire life this year. We actually stood there in the pens of New York, like in Times Square. They look so happy on TV. Of course, we wanted to be a part of it. I mean, all confetti in the air, and Frank Sinatra sings New York. And I come from a super huge German family. Um, there are 21 of us first cousins, and then gosh, I think we're up to like 6 or 7 second cousins now. And people seem to think that we look alike. And although we don't really see it, they also sometimes mistake us for sisters, which is kind of weird because I'm like, oh gosh, no, please, please don't say that. We're not sisters. She's mom. She's like, oh, thank you. We are sisters. Yes, thank you so much. And I'm like, no, stop. We're not sisters. You're my mom. It's weird. We don't see it when, yeah, people say we look alike, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So, anyways, with all of this random and super long conversation, first of all, I applaud you for watching the entire video and getting to know a little bit or a lot of it more about who I am as Miss Delta Valley 2018. And I know Nicole, shout out to Nicole, had left me some super big shoes to fill in as the next Miss Delta Valley, and I can only hope that my successor next year will think the same, is that they have just as big of shoes to fill for me as well. So, with all that, thanks again for watching. I am Kayla Schmidig, Miss Delta Valley 2018, and I cannot wait to meet you guys at orientation and have so much fun together at Miss California this year. Um, any questions, comments, or literally anything, feel free to message me or whatever. You guys are probably so much more technologically savvy than I am. So, anyways, it's great to meet you guys, and thanks for watching.